All right, let's jump right in. We're about to talk about a huge shift happening in mental health right now. Seriously, it's a revolution that's taking us beyond guesswork and into a future that's way more precise, personal, and honestly, powerful.
I mean, have you ever felt like treating mental health is just a guessing game? If you have, you are definitely not alone. It's a super common feeling because for a long time, the approach really has been a lot of trial and error.
You know the drill, right? The typical way it's worked is based on broad categories and what you can remember to tell your doctor. They make their best educated guess, you try something, you wait, you report back. If it's not working, you go back to square one. But what if? What if we didn't have to do that anymore?
And that's exactly where this revolution kicks off. We are finally starting to move beyond all that guesswork and into a new era of data-driven mental health care.
So let's break this down because the shift is massive. You can see here we're moving from just being reactive and based on symptoms to being data-driven and proactive. It's the difference between throwing darts in the dark and using a laser-guided system to hit a specific target right from the start.
So you might be asking, how in the world do we get all this data? Well, it starts with this pretty wild idea. What if the digital footprint you leave every single day could paint an objective, real-time picture of your mental state? Kind of like a digital twin that shows how you're doing.
Okay, the fancy term for this is digital phenotyping. But here's the simple version. It's just the science of using the data that's already being passively collected by your phone and your watch to get an unbiased, continuous look at your behavior and your health.
And this is where it gets really, really interesting. This is the stuff almost no one talks about, the hidden patterns in our daily lives. Think about it. Your GPS data, your sleep patterns, how often you text or call someone, even the tone of your voice. All these things create this incredibly rich data set. Your phone sensors are basically capturing these things called digital biomarkers, clues that can signal shifts in your mental health long before you might even notice them yourself.
And this quote just nails it perfectly. Instead of trying to remember how you felt last Tuesday during a doctor's appointment, this gives clinicians access to objective data in real time. It's not about what you think you remember feeling, it's about what the data actually shows you were doing. And get this is unbelievable. Just by analyzing speech patterns alone, nothing else, some studies have been able to predict the onset of psychosis with up to 100% accuracy. I mean, think about that for a second. That's how powerful this predictive technology can actually be.
So, all that digital data is one huge piece of the puzzle. But there's another signal we can track, one that's even more direct, because it's coming from inside your own body.
It's a pretty cool idea, isn't it? Imagine if you had a way to objectively measure how resilient you are to stress, instead of just guessing. Well, turns out you do.
It's called heart rate variability, or HRV for short.
And to put it simply, it's just a measurement of the tiny millisecond differences in time between each of your heartbeats. Now, this isn't about your heart rate, not how fast it's beating, but how variable the rhythm is. A healthy, flexible nervous system has more variability. It's a direct window into how well your body is managing stress.
And this chart makes it crystal clear why HRV is such a big deal. High HRV basically means your body is saying, I'm ready for anything. You're flexible, you're resilient. Low HRV, on the other hand, suggests your body is kind of stuck in stress mode, which can make you more vulnerable to anxiety and depression. It's a real, measurable biomarker for your resilience.
To put it in perspective, look at this graph. This shows the natural daily rhythm of our main stress hormone, cortisol. It's a physical, measurable signal. Well, HRV is another powerful signal just like it. See, these aren't just vague feelings. They are hard data points that tell us the real-time state of our nervous system.
So it's one thing to measure this signal, which is already pretty amazing. But here's where it becomes truly revolutionary. We can actively improve it. You can literally retrain your nervous system to be more resilient. The way we do this is through something called HRV biofeedback. It's a technique that uses technology to let you see your own HRV in real time so you can learn how to consciously control it, usually just by changing the pace of your breathing. So how does it actually work? Well, it's a pretty straightforward three-step process. First, a sensor lets you actually see your body's signal on a screen. Second, you follow a guide, like a breathing pacer, to directly influence that signal. And third, with practice, you're literally strengthening the connection, the neural pathways that allow your brain to manage stress automatically. It's a totally safe and practical way to take back control. A really great way to picture this is to think of it like this. You're training the CEO of your brain. your prefrontal cortex, to get better at managing the body's alarm system, that fight-or-flight stress response. It's basically a workout for your brain-body connection. Okay, so let's pull all of these threads together now. Because this isn't just about a single new gadget or one new technique. What we're talking about is a completely new framework for how we approach mental health care.
So here's that new framework, broken down into 3 parts. Step 1 is to gather the data. We use digital phenotyping to collect that objective, real-time information from a person's daily life.
Step 2, find this signal in the noise. We analyze all that data to pull out meaningful biomarkers, like HRV, that give us a clear, honest picture of what's going on physiologically.
And finally, step 3, take control. We use that information to give people targeted tools, like biofeedback, so they can actively and directly improve their own well-being. So what does this all mean? It means the future of mental health care is predictive, personalized, proactive, and participatory. Just knowing this puts you way ahead of the curve in understanding where this entire field is going. It's about spotting risk before a crisis, tailoring treatments to the individual, and most importantly, putting you in the driver's seat of your own health.
But of course, all of this incredible technology leads us to one final and absolutely crucial question. As we get better and better at decoding the data of our own minds, the next big challenge is figuring out the ethics. How do we make sure we protect our privacy and use this incredibly powerful knowledge responsibly? That's the conversation we all need to be having next.
If this touched your heart, please subscribe, like, and share it with your family. Save this for more meaningful content ahead.